My dad is crying because he wants to live with me after everything is done to me. Plus update. I, 26 female, have dealt with a lot from my alcoholic dad. Growing up, he was never mean to me, but never really a father. He worked overnight and slept all day. His drinking got worse when I was 16 and continued to decline. When I was 18, he lost his job and chose to drink with his friends instead of finding a new one. I have 3 older sisters who were already moved out when this happened, so it was just me and my mom living there. Electricity would get turned off, water shut off. He wouldn't pay for more oil in the winter, so I would have to sleep in a freezing cold house under 6 blankets. He spent most of this time at his friends' houses, so we didn't have to even deal with it. My mom barely made enough money to cover groceries and other expenses, and I was full-time student in beauty school and had a part-time job, so it couldn't help much either. My parents fought terribly because of this, and living there was hell. So I moved in with my boyfriend at the time, now fiancé, with his family, because I couldn't take it anymore. After this, I barely heard from my dad for years. He ended up losing the house, and my mom got a cheap apartment for herself that she could barely afford. My dad became homeless and either slept in his car or hung out with his addict friends. This went on for 5 years and he barely talked to me during this time. Fast forward to the present. My fiancé and I worked our butts off for ourselves and built a house. We've been moved in for 18 months. But one day after we moved in, I was T-boned by a pickup truck and sustained horrible injuries. My dad found out at Christmas, which was when the injuries were still fresh, but didn't bother to text or call me once after that. Now, he had a stroke in January. He actually does have Medicare, so has been in a state-run nursing home since then. He's miserable there and keeps calling his sister, sobbing that he has 4 daughters but none of them will take him in. He's staying in this nursing home for free, and my sisters and I all have full-time jobs and are starting our own lives. My dad has always been a very irresponsible person, leaves the front door open all night, leaves the stove on, etc. On top of all that, he just had a stroke, so him staying with one of us would turn us into a nurse. I'm working full-time, planning my wedding and still doing finishing touches on my new house. I worked hard for all of this despite what he put me through. I am the only one out of my sisters that still lives in the area. The rest of them moved away, all about 2 hours away or so. My dad told his sister he is waiting for my fiancé and I to open our house to him because he wants to stay around here. His sister feels so bad for him and asks us all if we could do a family phone call on Friday, just my sisters and my aunt, because he's so unhappy and is so sad his daughters don't want him. I'm absolutely furious that he is calling around telling people in the family that I won't offer my house to him after everything he put me through. My aunt even told him he can stay with her until his disability comes in, and he told her he wants to stay with his daughters. Like he has a right to pick and choose. He didn't even bother to freaking text or call me when I was suffering from my accident. But he is expecting me to open my home to him when I'm planning a wedding and working full-time? I'm starting my life and I want no part of this, especially because he can either continue staying in the nursing home or stay with my aunt. I'm going to have to be rude on this phone call because everyone is probably expecting me to feel bad for him. I don't. He did this all to himself. He chose to stop working. He chose to give up on parenting when I still needed him. He chose to not be involved in my life. Now you're going to make me feel guilty for not opening my home to you? Side note, I've even been going to the nursing home once a week to get his dirty clothes and do them for him, despite all the anger I've had towards him all these years. I'm about to stop doing that too. They can do his laundry in the nursing home. Now for the top comments before reading the update. First, congratulations and best wishes to you and your fiancé. Second, I'm very sorry that you're going through all of that. But you absolutely have every right to refuse to give in to his manipulation, guilt-tripping, and other nonsense. If other family members are very worried about him, well then they can move him in with them. Thank you. I agree. I told my fiancé that I think he wants me to offer our home so he can tell himself he didn't fail as a father and that his kids still love him. I of course feel awful for him and I wish him the best, but I'm not in a position financially or mentally to handle him, especially knowing he has other options. I just find it so selfish. I'm a very people-pleasing person and it's very difficult for me to stand up for myself. So you can imagine how stressed I am over all of this. But I'm forcing myself to stay strong. Best way to get over that people-pleasing urge, which has been programmed into us by our parents by the way, is to pretend you're reading your post from the point of view of someone else. So, reread your post as if one of us has written it, or your friend who was asking for advice. What does your gut tell you? I got as far as he's in a state-run nursing home but he is miserable in there, and keeps calling his sister, sobbing that he has 4 daughters. Before I said out loud, oh hell no. He doesn't have 4 daughters. He forfeited you and your sisters when he chose drink over parenting, when he chose to neglect you, when he couldn't even be bothered to contact you after your terrible accident. You owe him nothing. He provided the sperm and that's it. He does not get to play the sad dad now after everything is put you through. To be honest, I wouldn't even be a part of this bloody phone call. If your aunt feels so sorry for him, then let her look after him. If she believes that you should care for him and have him in your house after everything is done, then personally I'd ditch her too. Absolutely stop doing your dad's laundry too. Go as low contact as you possibly can. No contact would be better, but only you know what you're comfortable with. Sending you huge hugs. Thank you so much. I appreciate the advice. The only reason I plan on being on the call is so I can be super stern and blunt, because this is now the 4th time my aunt brought up the idea of him staying with me, and I'm going to put an end to it on this call. The second I hang up the phone with them, I'm driving to the nursing home, dropping off his clean clothes at the front desk and never looking back. I'm not going in to visit him. I'm not taking his dirty clothes with me. I'm going to get right back in my car, block his number, and go home. All you have done is grow up, move out, and make your own life of your own choosing. This is what emotionally healthy parents want their children to do. This is what I had to keep reminding myself of when my parents tried to get me to move back to my hometown. They didn't need me, but thought I owed them my company, the company of my children, and future old age care. You don't owe your father anything. Thank you, I agree. It's funny how he thinks he can be out of my life for years and then try to come back in when he needs something. I'm glad you were able to stay strong to your parents. Now for the update. So the call never happened because one of my sisters got held up at work. She sent a text to me and our other sisters in a group chat, Aunt not included, and said we can talk sometime soon. I don't want to wait to speak my mind, so I texted back and said I have something to say. Here's the message I sent. Well, I think it's great that you guys are willing to help and do what you can for Dad, but I've reached my breaking point. I personally don't think it's fair for him to give up on being a parent the last few years I needed him, when we were still living at home, and then barely contact me since then, and then make these comments to Aunt and whoever else that I won't open my home to him. You have no idea how mad I've been the last few days. It's insulting. Neither fiancé and I are comfortable with him ever staying in our home. I've mentioned this numerous times since his stroke, but it's still being brought up. Not by you guys, by him and Aunt. Neither of them has a right to make me feel this way. I'm at a point now where I feel like I was nice enough to do his laundry, fill out his disability papers, bring him groceries, and visit with him, despite all of this sadness and anger it caused in me. Now, him and Aunt and whoever else are expecting more of me just because he's my dad. He doesn't get to just stop working or being a parent and then decide to act this way. I truly no longer want any part of this situation with him. It may sound harsh, but I tried to help, and now I feel like I'm being taken advantage of. Last story. My mom kicked me out for my foster sister plus update. For some background, 19 female and my 8-month-old son live with my mother, 54 female, who decided to become a foster mom 2.5 years ago and was placed with 2 girls I'll call Liz, 14 female, and Amy, 8 female, who at the time were 12 and 6 respectively. Both girls had severe developmental, mental, and behavioral issues due to drugs and other issues that I will not include for privacy. Liz's issues were more severe, which resulted in her going to a group home after being with us for 6 months, as we couldn't properly care for her. During those months, she stole over $200 cash from me and $150 worth of stuff. She also cursed, spit, and threw things at me when I didn't do exactly what she wanted. I still have scars on my chest and arms from Liz, as I had yelled at her for taking my earrings. That was the day Liz was removed. So about a month ago, my mom told me that she was going to bring Liz back, as she needed a place to stay till she could get a bed at a better facility. I did not feel comfortable with her around me or my son at all, and when I told my mother this, she told me that I could leave then. So I packed up our stuff and am now staying with my sister. I have an apartment set up already but can't move in till August. I just don't know what to do and feel so unimportant. Edit. I just wanted to add a little more context for everyone. So for everyone asking if Amy still lives with my mom, sadly, yes, she does. And now that I'm not there to help her, I'm very concerned about her. I am my mom's fourth bio kid and her youngest bio kid. My older sister took primary care of me until my mother kicked her out. 3 out of 4 of her bio kids have been kicked out for separate reasons. The only reason my mom is a foster parent is for the money, and after Liz leaves, she will be taking in 3 more kids, so she can get money to buy something. I'm not sure what, but it's not for the kids. Liz also had a case against her for abusing a 6-year-old girl, not Amy, while she lived with us. She has been with my mom for a week and a lot has happened since, and I will update when it's over. Thank you for all the comments and advice. Now for the top comments before reading the update. It's not that you are not unimportant, but that she's a crappy mom, and she will get paid for taking care of Liz, and not you. She is thinking short-term and only about the money that she can make. Such as it is, especially when you consider that Liz can get disability checks as well. That's a good amount of money plus food stamps depending on the state, and Medicaid. That's nothing to sneeze at. The problem is that that money is supposed to be spent on a person, but I happen to know, because my own mom did this, that she can keep it for herself and say that she is. The government is kind of lazy about sending people to check if they are telling the truth. As long as she's not lying on her taxes, she's going to get away with it. You are completely right here. That is 100% the reason why she did it. She said that when she became a foster parent, the money was important. As much as this hurts, you made the best decision that you could for you, and most importantly your son. Protecting him is the most important thing right now. Your mom can now deal with the repercussions of her decision on her own, and you can sleep soundly knowing you made a right decision. I wish you and your son so much luck and happiness in this next chapter in your lives. Especially since she basically kicked out her infant grandchild for a troubled mess that was already justifiably removed by government services the first time around. No one's going to let Opie's mom live that one down once the baby's age is known and why. Troubled messes come with bigger checks. Former foster kid here. Can also confirm as someone who once wrote the checks for foster families at an organization I worked. It is significant the difference between a youth with and without that need for extra help. My sister used to purposely take in little tyrants. You know, the ones that bite people and need therapy 4 times a week. She was getting tons of money. They also get more for infants and toddlers. If your mom is okay with putting you and your child in harm's way, I hope down the road she's not confused as to why she has a daughter and a grandchild that she is cut off from. If I cut her off, so will the rest of my family. I'm the only reason they haven't gone no contact with her. Then that's on her, not you. Unfortunately, we reap what we sow, and your mom being cut off is not your responsibility. I feel for you, I really do. But you'd be sacrificing yourself and your sanity so she can continue to mistreat you. Now for the update. Liz was officially and permanently removed from my mom's care and will not be allowed to stay in foster homes with any kids. She's a child, and I don't take joy in her life getting harder, but I'm relieved for the safety of Amy, who is still with my mom. So for a full description of what led to this, about 2 days after she returned to the house, she got mad at Amy and took a handful of Aleve, painkiller. After being rushed to the hospital, she repeatedly said she didn't want to die. She just wanted to feel pain because she was mad. After that, they still put her back in my mom's house, where about 2 days later she stole a lighter and proceeded to light the house on fire. I do not know why she did it. She gave about 50 different versions of why, but ultimately it was probably because she wanted something. After multiple psychological evaluation and questioning, she said that next time she will burn the whole house down and make sure that no one escapes. There will not be a next time. On a different note, I will not be cutting off my mom until she no longer has kids in her house. I will, however, be going low contact. For everyone telling me to report her, she told her caseworker exactly why she wants more fosters, and the caseworker proceeded to find her a 17 female, 12 male, and 6 female. And in the caseworker's words, the 17-year-old will take care of the other two, plus Amy. They will be placed next month. The system is so hugely screwed, I'm not quite sure what to do. Thank you for the advice, support, and even the criticism. It gave me a great laugh. Sorry I didn't update sooner. I didn't know what was happening until 9 last night, and I was working.